when I was applying for the LSA Plus, I thought I was going to be pre-med and I was a bio major. So I did have the concern of, would I be able to complete all the requirements and stuff, but I ended up planning it all out, and it was still totally possible to complete all my major requirements had I continued with biology, and even all the pre-med requirements while also completing study abroad in Beijing along with the Chinese minor. So I think it was pretty easy to schedule.
The only part that was kind of a pain was figuring out D plans. That often became a little tricky because then you're off at weird times, right? Because I mean, like I was studying abroad then my freshman summer and my junior winter, which are 2 terms that you're like most people take off. And so I had to figure out other times to take off.
My parents didn't really want me to go to China for a study abroad for like Chinese. I don't think they knew I was minoring in it at the time, so I don't know if they like saw a point in just like going somewhere off campus and like super far away where I wouldn't be able to like easily like reach them in case of emergencies.
Another concern that I had at the time was the fact that my parents were concerned whether I would be learning as much during an off-campus term as compared to an on-campus term. So I explained to them that, it's Dartmouth professors accompanying us in China. We're doing Dartmouth classes. It's just with Dartmouth students. So it really is just as good as being on campus. And in the case of a language study abroad, it's even better because you're immersed in the local culture. And even after I explained that, my parents were a little bit hesitant. So one of the Chinese professors actually personally called my parents and convinced them that it was a good idea for me to go. So that was really above and beyond by the Chinese department to help me get over that obstacle.
I guess financially it is quite expensive. Just you have to pay for like the plane ticket and you have to feed yourself, and if you want to go shopping while you're there, and things are not cheap in Japan. So definitely like budgeting is one of the major factors and one of the major burdens. But I'm also like a naturalized citizen and everything, so like there's nothing for me in terms of visa that was a problem. So I would just say like financially that there might have been a burden.
The biggest issue I had with my off-campus programs was definitely the visa process. First of all, I'm a Chinese citizen, so even though I had a green card, I needed visas for both Japan and South Korea. Second of all, I had back-to-back programs right before I took an off-term to visit my relatives in China. So the way I planned my D plan definitely made the visa process more confusing than it needs to be. I had to figure out which visas I needed to get first. Luckily, I could use the Japanese and Korean consulate in Boston because I was a Dharma student. Otherwise, I would have had to like go to Houston and like stay there for a week to like get that all figured out. I think I spent like my whole break in Boston getting my visas done because I couldn't get them done at the same time and I didn't want to risk losing my passport.